What's good, y'all? What's good, Real Talk Squad? This is Miles. You're listening to Real Talk with Miles Johnson, where you know we always keep it real. Let's get straight into it, man. Like, comment, subscribe, do all that jazz. Share a friend, share a friend. Let's get into some real talk. All right, so missed some time, was in the vineyard with the guys, all of that. I missed Tanner McKee's. Well, I saw the game, but Tanner McKee, the Eagles' backup, is looking like a real starter in this league. I put a tweet out. I put it on Instagram, put it on TikTok, put it on Twitter. I said Tanner McKee is a starting quarterback in this league. The Eagles have two starting quarterbacks, and I'm going to list all of the quarterbacks that I would say if Tanner McKee was on that team, he would start. So here are all the teams that I believe Tanner McKee would start for in the National Football League. The Jets, yes, he's taking Justin Fields' job. The Giants, Russell Wilson, I'm sorry, brother. The Cowboys, Dak, that time is ticking, brother. Flacco and the Browns, that whole situation is a mess. Aaron Rodgers and the Steelers, we done saw that 40-year-old old man try to navigate in the pocket. It wasn't too pretty, bro. It was not too pretty. J.J. McCarthy and the Vikings, we haven't seen J.J. do anything in the NFL. So I'm picking Tanner McKee. Anthony Richardson, and Daniel Jones with the Colts. He would for sure start on them. I got a lot more faith in Tanner McKee on the Colts than Anthony Richardson and Daniel Jones. Stop playing, man. Tyler Shaw with the Saints. I'm still disgusted. I'm going to talk about a little bit later that the Saints could have drafted Shedeur Sanders, and they didn't. They are stuck with Tyler Shaw. And I'm saying right now, Tanner McKee would start on the Saints. Kyler Murray, yeah. Kyler Murray, yeah. What has he done since I was a junior in high school? What has he done since 2021? I'm taking Tanner McKee, and I'm starting him on the Cardinals today. Caleb Williams and the Bears, that's going to ruffle some feathers. Now, I know, is Tanner McKee the athlete that Caleb Williams is? No. But I do believe he processes the game much better. I do believe he goes through his progressions much better. I do believe if he had Ben Johnson, if he had all those weapons in Chicago, I mean, he'd do a better job than Caleb Williams. Caleb Williams got all these stats, but he don't be doing it when it matters. He got all these passing yards when he's down by like 20 points. Those are fake stats, bro. So, yes, I would have Tanner McKee, and I would start him over Caleb Williams on the Bears until Caleb Williams shows me something. And last one, Trevor Lawrence and the Jaguars. I do not care that Trevor Lawrence was the first overall pick. He's a guy that's like, what have you done for me lately? And if I'm going to say I would rather have Tanner McKee over Dak Prescott, I for damn sure would have him over Trevor Lawrence. Stop playing, man. So those are 11 teams. 11 teams. That is 34% of the league that I would say Tanner McKee could start on that team. That is just over a third of the NFL. I did my research. I did my calculations. I majored in communications, but I do some math on the side. So that's what it is right there. And so when we talk about, all right, should Howie Roseman trade Tanner McKee for a first-round pick? I'm saying a big hell no. Hell no. Because the backup quarterback position is the second most valuable position in the NFL. It's more valuable than edge rusher, than defensive tackle, than safety, than cornerback, wide receiver. Because if your backup quarterback is a bum, you're cooked. Then you're solely dependent on your starting quarterback not getting injured. Now, is Jalen Hurts injury prone? He's not injury prone, but we've seen in his career that it might be a game or two later on in the season. I think a big reason is because he is a running quarterback. He's a dual threat guy that he'll miss a game or two. And when you have a backup quarterback that you really, really trust, I mean, folks were saying last year, put Tanner McKee in over Kenny Pickett. And I'll concede. I was saying to myself, all right, y'all don't know more than Harry Roseman, Nick Sirianni, Kellen Moore, guys that are seeing these guys every single day. But I think the fans were actually right in terms of they saw the potential and the brilliance of this guy from day one. Just last season, Tanner McKee, in his first 3 or 4 attempts in the NFL regular season, this man had 2 touchdowns against the Cowboys. He was cooking off rip. And then against the Giants, without the number ones, he was basically playing with the backups. With the backups, he ended up, well, I won't say just all the backups because he did have Jahan Dotson. But against the Giants, last game of the season, you saw Tanner McKee light it up. And Jahan Dotson damn near eclipsed half of his yards for the whole entire season in just one game with Tanner McKee. It was by far Jahan Dotson's best game of the season. So I'm looking at this and I'm saying it's a small sample size. But when you see a baller, you see a baller. Shout out Tanner McKee, man. So I would actually say he is a untradeable asset to this Eagles squad. And we are so blessed that in the 6th round, what they call him, the Mormon missile. The Mormon missile, I like it. I like it. Keep him coming. And ultimately, we got ourselves a dog in the event that Jalen Hurts gets nicked with an injury or whatever. But there's been talk also that this is showing, oh, anybody in the Eagles system can be successful. My rebuttal would be, what system? What system? Because there have been different coordinators every single year, essentially. Kellen Moore, Kevin Patullo, Brian Johnson, Nick Sirianni / Shane Steichen. I mean, there have been multiple guys calling plays in this Hurts era. So I'm not hearing that. And what that game, what Tanner McKee really showed me was it's not that anybody in the NFL can play in the Eagles system. It's actually, it shows that Tanner McKee is better than a lot of the guys that y'all prop up right now. He better than Dak Prescott. He better than Trevor Lawrence. He better than Caleb Williams. He better than Justin Fields, Russell Wilson, Aaron Rodgers, Joe Flacco. He's legit, bro. He is legit. Let's talk about Jihaad Campbell real quick. And also, before I get to Jihaad Campbell, go back to offense. Landon Dickerson, our left guard, he ended up getting an injury. We will see later today what it is. Hopefully it's not too severe. Hopefully by the time I record and post this episode, it doesn't come out that something happened to him, or like, I know, well, it doesn't come out that he's injured for like the whole entire season. We want to just, cross our fingers for that. I think it was a play where like Jihaad Campbell had a bull rush on him and he might have stepped on his foot. I mean, hey, they're playing football, bro. If you're playing football at a high intensity level, stuff like this is going to happen. Obviously, we want Landon Dickerson to, be okay because we know how important he is. We know the masterclass he showed in the biggest stage in the Super Bowl. We know what he's done being in the league, has been in the Pro Bowl each year. He's a beast, one of the best guards in the NFL, right up there with Joe Thuney. But it's just what happens when you play football, bro. It was an accident, but I'm not about to blame Jihaad Campbell for that. But I will say with Jihaad Campbell is showing that he's the most obvious superstar that's going to come out of the 2025 NFL draft. He's legit. And I saw this video where Jihaad Campbell literally threw Cam Jurgens across the field. And let's just look up how much Cam Jurgens weighs. And I mess with Cam Jurgens heavy, bro. And I think that he is one of the most underrated guys in the league. This man, Jihaad Campbell, threw a 300-pound center in Cam Jurgens, a Pro Bowl center, to the ground to tackle Saquon Barkley. I mean, they've been saying during training camp that they might have to dial it back for Jihaad Campbell because he's so aggressive. He's so hype. I love that because it's way easier to tell somebody, all right, bro, you're a little bit too hype. You're a little bit too, you got too much intensity. Let's just dial it back a little bit versus somebody who is not putting in the effort and you got to tell them, hey, bro, show us more effort. So I'm always riding with the guy that you got to tell him, hey, bro, you might be doing a little bit too much right now. You're punching the balls out of quarterbacks. You're out here throwing Howard center who 300 pounds across the field. How about you just relax a little bit and save that for the Cowboys week 1? How about you do that? Ultimately, I think that Jihaad Campbell is going to be a star, and it's a reason why Vic Fangio was in that Judd at draft night and was like, yeah, I want him. He was happy, had a grin on his face like the Grinch that stole Christmas. And it was highway robbery for the Eagles to get that man, Jihaad Campbell. He's going to be a stud in the NFL. Let's do 2 last topics. I'm going to compare the Eagles roster to the Cowboys roster. Now, we did the Eagles versus the Ravens roster. Let's do the Eagles versus the Cowboys roster, and let's compare each group. Quarterback, easy, Jalen Hurts. Running back, easy, Saquon Barkley. Wide receiver, it's closer now, but I'm still riding with AJ and Smitty. Eagles clear. Tight end, Eagles clear. Offensive line, Eagles clear. If you want to go to defense, defensive line, the Eagles clear. Linebackers, the Eagles clear. Secondary, I think it's extremely close, but I would still give the slight edge to the number 1 ranked defense from last year. I'm giving the Eagles that edge. And I'll say this, and I'll be fair. The Cowboys have the edge at special teams because the guy Aubrey, they kicker, he is one of them ones, and he's been more consistent than Jake Elliott through the entire season. And coaching, Brian Steinheimer or Nick Sirianni? Oh my, it's easy. It's Nick Sirianni. Easy money. Nick Sirianni. And so I'm looking at this and I'm saying to myself, okay, like actually the Eagles clear in every single position group compared to the Cowboys except kicker. And a lot of these position groups aren't even close. Like, comment, subscribe, do all that jazz. I love y'all. I appreciate y'all. It is Real Talk with MJ. Y'all know I'll always keep it real. I'm out, y'all.